Emily Chang sat down with Penny Pritzker, that's U.S. Commerce Secretary under the Obama administration. She spoke about the Trump administration's approach to trade and the future of the workforce.
First of all, we took transition very seriously and tried to give our successors the benefit of what we had learned over our tenure. And I think what's challenging is, as it relates, for example, to the issue that we're working on here at the Fortune Conference of the Future of Work, is that, I think the future of work requires a focus by not only the private sector but also government to work on workforce training and dealing with the skills mismatch in the short run, but also to deal in the long run with making sure that we're training people for the jobs of the 21st century. But the second role of government is really one if you were thinking about a comprehensive plan, economic plan for the United States, a comprehensive competitiveness plan, is also opportunity. So trade, for example. And one of the things that is challenging is to watch us walk away from multilateral trade agreements and to narrow our focus to either bilateral or smaller trade agreements.
Do you think we're at risk of a trade war?
Well, I wouldn't bet on a trade war as much as I think that the narrowing of our focus and agitating our trading partners is not useful to creating opportunity for Americans and for American business. And so I worry about that. I think that we're, I want us to make progress. That's important for the United States, for us to have good and functional, open, free and fair trade agreements, but we need to get those in place, because the more that we just sort of talk about it and not take action, the more opportunity we're creating for our competitors.
So if trade is one, what are your other big concerns about the Trump administration?
It's not so much the Trump administration. If you think about how do we have a competitive America, we need to deal with trade. We also need to have tax reform so that our companies can be competitive. We need to be investing more in infrastructure than we are, both digital infrastructure as well as physical infrastructure. Frankly, comprehensive immigration reform is both moral responsibility, but it's an economic opportunity that I think we're letting languish right now. So I think creating greater opportunity is one part of a comprehensive economic strategy for the country. The other is a social safety net. We need to have a social safety net that acknowledges what 21st century work is like. And we've got 55 million Americans out of 140 million working Americans who are in the gig economy or the on-demand economy. We've got to make sure the social safety net is supporting all Americans. So whether it's health care, we can't just repeal health care and uninsure 20 million Americans. We've got to make sure Americans have access to health care, that they have access to workforce training that will allow them to be successful. In the conference, in the Fortune Conference today, we were talking about the fact what Americans want is to know they have stable earning capacity, and they want security in that. And so social safety net's a part of that, opportunity is a part of that, workforce training is a part of that.